Next month at Climate Week in New York City, movement leaders and activists will gather to talk about the climate crisis. Among them, Tzeporah Berman, one of Canada's most important voices and the force behind the fossil fuel non-proliferation treaty campaign. I caught up with her to talk about the risks of traveling to the US right now as a high profile climate activist, and to ask about what's next for the climate movement under Canada's new PM. Tzeporah, thank you for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
You've been advocating for a fossil fuel phase out for a really long time now. The treaty campaign has gained significant momentum lately in recent years. What's the latest?
It's funny looking back on it. I You realize how much people get kind of used to change as it happens. Someone said to me the other day, "Well, it's not true that people didn't used to talk about fossil fuels when we talked about climate change." And I was like, "Wow, I have been at this a long time." And it really is only in the last 4 years that fossil fuels have been dragged center stage in the debate, despite the fact that fossil fuels are 86% of the carbon trapped in our atmosphere. Comes from three things: oil, gas, and coal. Yet for so many years, we didn't even talk about oil, gas, and coal. And so in the last couple of years, what we've seen is a number of countries step up and say, look, we've got to stop making the problem bigger. And those countries are now developing a block of nations. There are close to 20 countries who are working to develop a fossil fuel non-proliferation treaty. And this would be a treaty that's kind of like a work plan for how do countries cooperate to do fossil fuel phase out as a companion to the Paris Agreement. Because we need the Paris Agreement that 190 countries have signed. Oh, wait, is it 189 now that Trump's leaving? I'm not sure. Um, but the fact is, the Paris Agreement doesn't even include the words oil, gas, and coal. It doesn't have mechanisms inside the world's climate agreement to stop the expansion of new fossil fuel projects. And what we build today will be what we use tomorrow. And the idea that we can just keep growing fossil fuel projects while reducing emissions and addressing climate change, which is often what you hear from our own country, Canada, i- it's absurd. It's a fallacy.